right, welcome to No Name Games episode 5.
Episode 5, yeah.
And episode 5 is going to be all about reviews, but they're not reviews.
It's talking about games, but not reviewing games, but reviewing them.
Reviewing them, but not reviewing them. So, most things, if you want to call it, most places where you go to get information about games they're gonna have some sort of review, right? They're gonna have some sort of impression about the game. They're gonna have, how they feel about the games and some of the things that they're doing with the games, and then they'll give it like a score. They'll go through all these things, the graphics, the sound, the gameplay, all those things. And as much as I love that, and I've gotten so used to it, there's a format to these things. Having been around games for such a long time, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it. Like I do want to give us some structure. I think I think if anybody's listening to it, they're gonna want to know that maybe we're gonna hit on a couple things. But I think just talking about the game in an organic way might just be a better approach.
Yeah.
So
that's how we are.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
we don't need a script for it. So I almost like that, we can just kind of talk about whatever games we're playing. So that's really what this episode is about, is about what are we playing right now? What is fun for us?
Well, and what we have recently played also.
Yeah, and what we recently played.
Like in the first episode, we mentioned that we were going to, I don't remember if it was our first episode or second. I do remember that we mentioned that we were going to talk about some games, and we never did.
Right.
So my Alexa just
went off.
Yeah, it went off. Just I don't know who said Alexa around. Maybe it's a ghost or something.
Maybe it's a ghost.
So that usually happens when you have like 3-4 Alexas. I think I have 3.
That's definitely enough Alexas.
Yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, I mean, I think we mentioned it in first or second episode.
But that's exactly why this is going to be so different also, because we have Alexa going off, and Alexa may be able to give us her interpretation of games at the same time too. This is irreverent, but that's kind of like part of it.
Well, also, what I want to also say is that, when we're talking about reviews and you have like several channels of reviews, they usually kind of review the game that came out last week or maybe yesterday,
which is kind of funny, right? Because how can you really know that? How can you review a game?
40 hours of gameplay and
you're reviewing 10 hours of gameplay.
So,
I don't know.
The other thing is we're not gonna be we're not gonna be talking about like games that have that came out
20 years ago.
No, not 20 years ago, but not yesterday either. Like, probably the games I'm going to be talking about came out like maybe a couple months ago, a month ago or something. Yeah. So it's what I want to clear out is this is about what we are recently playing or what we're playing at the moment, regardless of when they came out.
Yeah.
So just a caveat there.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to talk about something that is not a video game that I'm playing
really?
too.
That's cool.
So I just bought something that spoke to me. When you're in the store and you're just looking for something to speak to you. Okay, so this thing spoke to me, and I said, I need to have this. So I'm going to talk a little bit about
I'm curious.
This game book that I bought. It's a book. That'll be fun. I think one of the things that makes a lot of sense in what you're saying is I'm not playing any really old games, but I'm actually playing some Super Nintendo games.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
not really old.
They're not. They're not
just
old.
Like 20-something, 30 years old.
Like that's it. Like I'm literally 30 years old. I've been playing Ghosts and Goblins. I was playing it at the office the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Ghosts and Goblins is like
at the office at work.
Yeah. Well, it was in the room that we set up with the Switch. So we have a Switch set up at the office. And I don't know if you remember, but there was a part that I kept dying over and over again. But the awesome part about the Switch is that you can have a save point, anywhere in the game.
Wait. But you're playing NES games.
Yeah.
Not
I'm
Super
sorry,
Nintendo.
NES. Yeah.
Yeah.
NES. No, you know why I confused it? Because I did play Super Ghosts and Ghouls yesterday or the day before yesterday at home.
Oh,
so I
cool.
did also play that because that's the one that comes with the SNES, the new little tiny SNES.
Yeah.
So I was playing that one too. But at the office, I was playing Ghosts and Goblins. Now that game is really tough because there are parts where the monsters in the game have these very set patterns, so you can figure out most of the game with the set patterns. But then there's always a monster that seems to just have a variable or a timing that is set up in the game that contradicts all the other patterns. So it's hard, and you die a lot. You lose your armor all the time, and then you die. So
old games are more like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Was it with you that I was talking about how? Yeah, it was with you. You're mostly the only person I talk about games in this manner of getting very, very deep. But the games
we're so deep now.
Were actually designed for you not to beat them.
Yeah, we were talking about that, which is awesome. Imagine a game where the goal is for the game to beat you.
Exactly.
That's like what every game was. That's what every game was back in the day. Ghosts and Goblins is designed to break your will. Contra without up down left right, is a test.
Yeah.
All the games really are, and
they were really hard.
And it wasn't like you could send the game back to the developers and say
complain.
Yeah, or complain on a forum
on Twitter.
This game is not balanced. I can't play it. I can't beat it. Yeah. If you could not beat it, then
this game is unfair.
This game is unfair. This boss is too hard. All that stuff. None of that existed. So we just kind of had to figure it out. And I think that's an awesome thing that carried us into this new era of all levels of play, right? Games come in many different levels and modes, easy mode all the way to hard mode, and I think the games that we're playing right now, they kind of span from fun, easy to like actually really hard and frustrating.
Yeah.
Knowing what it is that you're playing, and already a little bit about what I'm playing. So let's start with you. So what are you playing right now that you're really getting sucked into?
Well, let me see, because I've been playing several games lately, and I'm gonna start with one that came out recently. It's not that I'm playing it still because I just finished it a couple days ago, and it's Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Okay.
And
Lara Croft.
So
are you in love with Lara Croft?
No, not really.
No.
I've seen a lot of people
over it.
What do you mean? No, I was never. I'm not into falling in love or being attracted to
sprites and
CG
pixels?
characters.
Oh man. Okay.
I know you're into that, but
they're beautiful too, man. No, I'm just kidding.
Lara Croft, the newest Lara Croft, it's an attractive chick, but I don't know. My mind doesn't work that way for some reason. But yeah, I played that. I finished it recently, and I have to say I've been, especially since the reboot, I've been a fan of the Tomb Raider franchise.
But let me pause you right there, because Tomb Raider and Lara Croft was like the first hot.
Oh yeah.
Protagonist in any game.
Well, it was boxy, but yeah.
Well, yeah, she was boxy, but it was still like, wow, like, I don't know. I always thought, like, when my friends and I were playing it, we were like, wow, man, not only is the game really good, but like she looks great, and it felt like a really cool game because you're playing a woman character, and there weren't, we had an episode about how many protagonist Hispanic characters. I can name quite a few female protagonists in games. And
Tomb Raider came out a long time ago.
Tomb Raider is PlayStation 1.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's come a long way also. But the game's always been really true to itself in that it's like, you kind of feel like...
they messed up a little bit right before the reboot.
Yeah.
They messed up a little bit. They did a couple of games that weren't very good, to say the least. But this franchise has always been.
I think they've been consistent.
They're been consistent, and they have always been like, kind of like a benchmark of what's going on in technologically speaking, with games. I mean, they've been very. They always had very good graphics. They were always very impressive in that sense. And the newer games they already made a trilogy of the new reboot. It's kind of talking about the origins of Lara Croft and how she became the Tomb Raider. And in Shadow, she becomes the Tomb Raider. It's when you see her become this killing machine Tomb Raider character. So it's interesting, but
big butt.
Not I'm not sure yet. Maybe
Little
it's
butt.
too soon.
Little butt.
But I don't know. The first one, I don't remember. Tomb Raider. I think it was Tomb Raider, just the title, and then they came out with Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Mm-hmm.
Those two for me were like mind blowing games. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I got desensitized or used to the games, but Shadow, it's a good game. It looks great. But it's just like, oh, okay, it's good. It works.
What was it that disappoints you the most about it, I think?
Well, me being very, very visual. Well, let's start with the visuals. Me being very visual. When I saw Rise, I was like, these guys are fucking crazy. I mean, how the fuck this is rendering, my mind. This is rendering.
You're thinking of all the work. You're thinking of all the work that goes into it.
So I played it in console and I was like, how the hell they can, refresh 30 seconds with, this no deformation as they walk. I mean, it had so much detail.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, Shadow has a lot of detail, but it doesn't have the wow factor that the previous games had in me.
Okay.
That's one thing. I'm not saying it's bad. It's beautiful, but it doesn't have that wow factor. I mean, maybe Rise is still like what reviewers or technical reviewers use to measure performance in graphics cards.
Okay.
Probably now it's going to be different because we have the new graphics cards, the RTX cards.
Yeah.
But Rise, until recently, was one of the games that those reviewers will use to analyze, to give out the performance results of certain graphics cards.
Okay.
Like the FPS and all that.
All the details.
That was until recently, and Rise came out, I think it was 2015. So it was several years of that. So that's how Rise was. That's in terms of visuals. In terms of story, I think that's the biggest weakness that Lara Croft has as a character overall. Is that they kind of went this route of trying to develop the characters and tell the story of the characters, and I don't think it's really great. I mean, for the most part, I always feel like Lara Croft is just, my daddy's work, my dad's work. Oh my God, only I can do this. My dad, daddy. I even have a video that I once that I remember that I streamed playing Rise. Mm-hmm. And I'm making fun of that because there's a cut scene and she's all over like, oh, but my dad. And I'm like...
Yeah. But at the end of the day, isn't she just like an action hero? Like, does the story even really matter?
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah, it does matter because I think that's what they intended to do.
Okay. To create so you're saying that they missed the mark?
I think so. Okay. Especially if you compare it to... I hate comparing, but... Because Tomb Raider is a completely different game, even though there's a lot of comparisons and similarities. But if you compare it to Uncharted games and how they develop the characters, they missed the mark, I think, in my personal opinion.
Did you ever see the movie?
The the older ones.
Yeah, the old
and the new one.
And the new one too. Yeah.
I think the new one.
Well, the older ones and the new one.
Well, the older ones were just guilty pleasures of mine. They were like the. It was like a female, over the top '90s action packed movie.
Yeah.
Like those Arnold movies, but
she's an action hero. Yeah, I mean, she's totally an action hero. She is the first female action hero to stand out in a male dominated action hero world.
Yeah,
and not just video games. So she was like the first real female action figure that we had in the movie theater for a while.
Yeah, I agree.
And actually, that movie grossed like $270 million or something like that. I was reading.
Oh, really?
270.
Which one?
$5 million.
The older one?
The older one.
Yeah.
I also saw here.
I mean, it was Angelina Jolie. I'm pretty sure that
the 2001 movie adaptation grossed $275 million, and it was the highest grossing video game adaptation until being overtaken in 2010 by, guess who?
What year?
2010.
2010. No, I don't. Doom? Huh?
Prince of Persia. The Sands of Time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that 2010?
I don't think Doom did that well.
No, Doom is a really bad movie.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I mean, they do. Generally speaking, I don't have the data, but generally speaking, it seems like they do well in terms of money.
Yeah, and Tomb Raider has always done well. I have here that to date, the entire series has sold 63 million units.
Oh wow!
Which is a lot of units.
But do you see the most recent one?
I don't see any information on the most recent one yet. That was as of 2017. So I know that the most recent one probably did pretty good too, because I know it was getting a lot of hype.
Well,
I mean, we can just look it up.
I'm gonna say it's the best video game adaptation I've seen. Not to say it's a great movie, but I think it's a decent one. I think it's the best one that I've seen. Against a lot of reviewers and a lot of people, I think it was an entertaining movie. Alicia Vikander, I don't know her name correctly. Other than being extremely hot, that one I feel attracted to. That Lara Croft, not the video game one, but Alicia Vikander. She did very well in the movie, I think, in my opinion, and
yeah, she was great in that movie.
And the movie overall was decent. I mean, I've seen a lot of criticism in terms of how real it is in terms, like, she falls from a very tall tree or structure or whatever. I mean, she keeps banging her body all over the place. I mean, that's Lara Croft.
Yeah, that's Lara.
In every single game and everything. I mean, the same with the plane in the very first game from this reboot. It's really, really well made.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I thought it was a decent movie. Would I get it for my collection? No, I won't.
It looks like sales of Shadow of the Tomb Raider were dwarfed by Spider-Man. Which I know you're gonna get to.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to.
I know you're gonna get to Spider-Man. So yeah, I mean,
what I've read is that Shadow hasn't been very. I mean,
it doesn't look like it was well received. I mean, based off of what I've seen just now and looking at it, yeah.
Like, I mean, a lot of reviews that I've seen is they're giving. What was that? Oh, that was my computer. I'm sorry. A lot of reviews I've seen, they give him good rating. My thing that what I've read is that not a lot of people, I mean, have been playing it, and not a lot of it hasn't been like the conversation about Shadow lasted like a week.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think that's what some of these articles are also saying. That although Shadow was a both Xbox and PS4 title, Spider-Man, even being just an exclusive PS4 title launch,
Spider-Man,
it's just crushed everything. When it came out, and there was no room to talk about Rise of the Tomb Raider, unfortunately. Shadow of the Tomb Raider. That was a bad move. That was a bad move. Now, so you played that for a little bit and you beat it, right? How long did it take you?
Like 17 hours, I think.
17 hours, okay. That's not too bad. I mean, 17
For
hours.
me, it's
well, let's just think about 17 hours in general. Like 17 hours is not a lot of time to do and to do anything. So and you telling me that, I don't really think that there was enough time to spend with the game then. Really.
Was it 17 or 27? I don't know. I gotta say that I'm a very story-driven player, so there's a lot of content
Right.
that I haven't played.
Oh, okay.
There's side quests.
Sure.
There's things to
I'm
find.
sure there's. I mean,
it's
you
not
beat it in
100%.
17 hours.
I
Yeah,
didn't
you
do
didn't do
100%.
Yeah. I mean, but that's okay. That's just beating the game. In comparison, like and we've talked about this. I put like 90 hours into Dark Souls, or 100 hours into Dark Souls 3, and I still haven't done everything. You know, I'm actually on the second playthrough in that 100 hours.
Yeah.
Because I've wanted to do everything in the game.
I'm a little bit more impatient. Like I feel like, okay, I start a game. There's a point where I am like, I just gotta finish it.
Yeah.
For some reason.
I'm like that with leveling.
Oh, okay.
So when I'm playing an MMO, like when WoW launched recently, Battle for Azeroth, I had to take time off of work, sit down and level, because it's something that once I start doing, I almost feel like I can't stop doing it until I'm done.
Okay.
I don't feel that way about beating console games anymore. I used to, but I feel, and it's also because I have the luxury of being able to put them down. I can put it down and feel like I'm not missing out on something. It's literally fear of missing out when it comes to MMOs, because you could be the first one to get, this item on the server, or you could be the first one to get, to a certain level or to a certain area, and there's a lot of excitement.
Going back to your competitive nature.
It's not competitive. It's more about
no.
I don't think it's competitive. I think it's.
You just mentioned it's about getting it first.
Yeah, but I think it's also about being able to talk about how you're the only one there.
It's competitive. Okay.
No way. I don't think. I mean, maybe that's how it comes across, but I don't think so. I think it's totally.
So now talking about that now that we're talking about games we've recently played, what do you think about Battle of Azeroth? So
Battle for Azeroth, I think, is really good. I liked leveling. It only took me a couple days to get to max level.
Days that you took off from work.
Days that I took off,
Awesome.
but rightfully so, because those are my vacation days, so I earned those. And it was just a lot of fun to level again, and to level with new dungeons and level with new abilities. I leveled a mage, so I'm very familiar with how a mage works, and I gotta tell you that mage felt really clean. It felt really polished. I leveled as Frost because it was just easy leveling with a pet. I also leveled sometimes with the talent that removes your pet and just gives you kind of like a DPS increase. So I did that as well. And the game has so many different things going on right now that I think if anybody were to pick up Battle for Azeroth right now, they would enjoy it. And I enjoyed playing it. I'm not playing it anymore because I did basically what I endeavored to do when I first started playing it. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to raid, so I had no illusions or fantasies about gearing up and getting the best, gear for whatever reason. I just decided that I was going to play the dungeons to get to mythic level, just be able to get to mythics, and that was good enough for me.
How many hours you put into it?
I would probably say that I probably put about maybe 40 to 50 hours into it. I think that's a rough estimate. It could be a little bit more. Some of those hours fly by.
More.
Yeah, it's probably more.
Kidding.
No, but I mean, you want to ask me about how many hours I've played on that character?
How many hours you've played of WoW?
I've played at least 10,000 hours of WoW.
Wow.
So that's a lot. That's WoW. Yeah, that's a lot of World of Warcraft.
No, it's a good game.
But that one character I think the majority of those hours, I've put like 9,000 hours into that one character. And so I don't know how much I've played in this last expansion. I think it's about 50 hours. Maybe it could be 60. But it's been fun. It's been fun, and I've enjoyed it. Graphics got updated. As much as people want to say that the Blizzard graphics are still a little cartoony or whatever, I still think that they're fine. They're good for what the game is. The game isn't trying to be something that it's not. It's not trying to give you super ultra realistic, effects and all these things.
There's a reason to
keep it that
those
way.
games. One reason is that there's a limitation, and not a limitation, but they cannot predict how many characters there's going to be on screen at the same time. That's one thing. So, they gotta keep textures very simple, and effects not have a lot of effects, but because there could be a scene where there's two characters, you and your friend, but then you can get into a dungeon with 100 characters at the same time shooting shit at a boss. And then the boss throws things also, and maybe more enemies come in. I don't know. I don't play WoW, but that's basically the thinking of that. That's how they designed games like that. And the other factor is longevity. It's like Overwatch. Overwatch has this same kind of treatment of being cartoony, even though it's very good looking.
It's game. Beautiful.
It's a beautiful game to look at, and but it has this thing.
I could totally live in El Dorado.
Yeah. But it's optimization.
No, not El Dorado. It's Dorado.
El Dorado.
No, but isn't it Dorado?
El Dorado. Yeah.
But is it El Dorado or is it Dorado?
El Dorado, sí.
Yeah. Or are we just saying it's remember. That because of the furniture store here in Miami?
No. No.
Welcome to Dorado. I don't remember her saying L.
Yeah, it's Dorado.
It's Dorado.
Yeah, it's Dorado. Dorado.
Dorado. So I could totally live in Dorado.
Dorado. Yeah. So I think it's I think intentionally because I don't know. I'm not a Blizzard developer, but I think they do it because of that. It's the longevity. I mean, they do games that are gaming as a service. Yeah. So they want those games to last forever.
Yeah.
So
I do know over time
it's a design thing. I think
they've upgraded their servers a whole lot. They've upgraded their technology a whole lot. I was actually there for the opening of the gates of Encourage on my server, which is an event that happened a long time ago during Vanilla WoW. It was the last real
Vanilla WoW.
It was the last
horrible.
Real. No, it wasn't. Vanilla WoW was the best. And when Classic WoW happens, I'm gonna plump some hours into that. You can bet on that because that's gonna happen. But the whole point of what I'm trying to say is the gates of Encourage, when they opened, the entire server was on one part of the map. Okay, because everybody came out. Everybody on the server came out. You're talking, 10,000 characters in one location.
Wow.
And on that side of so Kalimdor, which is the side of the map that everyone was on, the Kalimdor part of the server would keep crashing. Kalimdor would keep crashing because
maybe your computer also. I mean, if you didn't have a good
no, I was fine. It was just it's the connection issues and the amount of graphics and sprites on the screen.
Rendering real time that amount.
Yeah, no, it was a combination. It was exactly. It was a combination of a lot of things, hardware failures, left and right. But guess what? It was one of the most memorable times.
That's so
because there was one guy on the entire server that had the scepter of the shifting sands. I think is what it was. Scepter of the Shifting Sands, that he was given, by the entire server, basically worked together to give this guy in this one guild this item to open up the next raid. Because that was this design that WoW did. That was the design that Blizzard did. They said that the only thing they wanted to make it a server effort at opening up the next raid. Because the raid is the biggest thing. So they wanted to make it a server thing, a community thing, which is a great idea. It was so good. It was called the War Effort, and you could go out to the world. You could go to Elwyn Forest and kill monsters, kill pigs, kill bears, and get materials and donate to the guy in your city and say, "I'm donating this cloth to the War Effort," and you would see a counter, and it was like 1 billion cloth, and every time people would donate, it would go, would go down.
That's so cool.
And so Horde and Alliance could donate to the War Effort, and it all went to the same War Effort. which was really cool. And at the end of all of that, somebody gets a quest. Once the war effort is finished, after you do all of these quests and all of these very hard boss fights, you get a quest to get this scepter. So unless you're one of the leading guilds on the server, you're not getting those quests, and you're not doing those raids and killing those bosses. So it was decided that the leading guild on the server, which at this time was I believe it was Divine Vigilance. Yeah, it was Divine Vigilance on Sargeras. They decided that they were going to troll the rest of the server.
Oh,
and
really?
Say that they had the quest done and that Nimic, or the priest in the guild that got the scepter, wasn't going to open the next raid until he got a thousand gold pieces from everyone on the server. Mind you, gold was really hard to come by back then.
Okay.
So, I mean, my character maybe had like 100 gold on him. Tops. And so he's asking for 1,000. So it was like an astronomical amount of
your
gold.
character, who...
Yeah.
You already had put a lot of hours in.
Yeah, at that point I had put, I don't know, enough hours. But yeah, and he held the server hostage as a joke. And it was so bad. But anyways, everybody convened in this one location, and everything just crashed. Everything would just keep crashing. You couldn't see yourself move. It was like, just forget about playing for the rest of the night. So it left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. I was kind of pissed. But you know what? I stuck around till 3-4 in the morning until everybody went to sleep and said, screw this. And I was able to log in and go into the
You met a lot of people through World of Warcraft.
I met a ton of people through World of Warcraft. Yeah.
Like good friends of yours now?
Yeah, good friends of mine right now that I keep up with, that I still keep in touch with right now, because we're all idiots on Discord. Everybody's on Discord.
Yeah.
So we have Discord groups.
Exactly. That's how we
still
talk to each other.
That's how we still talk.
Mm-hmm.
And then even in the BattleNet interface, you can set up your old guilds.
Uh-huh.
So you don't even have to be playing. You can just set up your old guilds and invite people to the chat, and you have your guild again, and you're just talking smack about other stuff.
Yeah.
So,
well, I remember because I was in college, and my roommate and we used to do a LAN party.
yes,
just us. It was me and him, and that's it. But let's call it a LAN party.
Sounds like a party.
So we did this LAN party to play Warcraft 3.
Oh, cool.
And
I love Warcraft 3.
Back in those days,
Reign of Chaos or just the
Reign
original?
of Chaos. Yeah. And back in those days, what's that sound?
It sounds like Mouse.
Oh, Mouse is playing. Mouse is my cat, by the way. So yeah, there's gonna be weird sounds probably in the background. That's my cat.
And Alexa.
And Alexa.
And his computer.
And my computer. I'm sorry, guys. This is very
this is No Name Games.
Yeah, No Name Games is improvised, guys.
Yeah.
But I was telling you that we used to play Warcraft 3, Reign of Chaos, and that. And thing is that those were the days when the World of Warcraft trailer, the very first trailer, came out. Mm-hmm. And let me remind you, college. I did computer animation in college.
Right, that's right.
Which I've mentioned several times. That freaking trailer was mind-blowing.
What part about it?
Every single part about that. It was amazing.
It was pretty
I was
good.
like, I'll never get to this level. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It was so good. And one other thing is, we were like crazy about a new Warcraft coming out. And for me, for us, I think I can speak for him too, it was Warcraft 4.
Basically.
And I actually bought it right away.
You did?
Yeah, I did buy it right away because I thought I was going to get another real-time strategy game.
Another RTS, yeah.
And when I saw what it was, I didn't really understand it.
Yeah.
I was like, what is going on?
Well,
what
don't
do
feel
I
bad.
have to do?
I didn't understand it either.
Yeah, I was like completely lost.
I was totally lost.
And I played just, I don't know, like a couple days. I was like, I don't understand this game. I don't know, these guys with a little symbol
Signs on their heads.
Yeah, the exclamation mark, or I think it was exclamation.
Question marks for
question
quests,
mark,
exclamation
right?
marks for quests.
Yeah, so it was like, what's going on? And then people telling me, oh, you gotta do the ones that are, I think, orange first. There was things that I had to follow, and then the bar.
The experience bar.
The experience bar was purple and it turned to blue, and then I had a
when you had rested XP.
All those things, I didn't really understand the game. It was so huge too.
The game was so huge, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you think about it now, and the game has gotten bigger, of course, with all of the expansions and all the things that happen in the game.
Yeah.
But World of Warcraft, the first World of Warcraft game, was massive in scale. You know, you could
especially for the time, I think.
For the time and the fact that you had to run everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it took me the first time I went from. So I leveled as a human, but my friend was a night elf, and he's like, "You're an idiot."
a night elf too.
He's like, "You're an idiot. Come to Kalimdor and level in this place that got destroyed. I forget the name of it now. It escapes me, but it's right by Darnassus. It's like the first little town that you get to when you cross the ocean, and that whole area you can level in that whole area, and that's like where the night elves level once they leave Darnassus. And I'm like, okay, you know, so they walked me from, you know, Westfall at the time. So I was we had just done Dead Mines. I was like level 18 or something like that, 17. And we ended up going all the way, walking through the entire valley, walking through Ironforge, walking, you know, through Menethil Harbor, getting the boat, and of course getting ganked and all that stuff that comes with walking, you know, for miles and miles and miles, which is what it feels like. So that was a lot of fun. But yeah, everything was huge. So you had to do a lot of walking.
So massive.
You had to do a lot of walking. So Battle for Azeroth, I'd say, is a great game. But I'm really looking forward to Classic, big time. You know, it's one of the things that I think I will definitely spend some time playing for the nostalgia factor, but also because I feel like they're going to definitely put in some surprises and some cool things.
Cool.
Yeah. So,
what
other game are you playing?
Yeah, I was gonna say, because we were talking about previously, we mentioned Spider-Man. I want to talk about Spider-Man. So Spider-Man. What a great game. It's so freaking good. Like, top to bottom. Story-wise, it's amazing. I mean, I don't know if I liked it. I mean, I was entertained. I think they did a pretty good job. They developed, not developed, because you start and it's not an origin story. I mean, Peter Parker is already Spider-Man and he's already a badass.
Yeah.
And he already knows all the villains except for one, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, spoiler alert. I think the only character that actually becomes a villain in the movie is Dr. Octopus. But then, I mean, Peter Parker is already Spider-Man. They don't tell you the origin story. Okay. And then the relationship with MJ is already a relationship. I think
it's even better that way. You don't have to spend a lot of time
there's
going
been so much.
Yeah. Who cares? Yeah. He's Spider-Man. So that's it. Let's move on with our lives.
The story is very good. Visually, the game is so incredibly good. I mean, I played it in PS4 Pro. Which adds a little bump to the visuals. But again, I mean, it's an incredibly beautiful game. I have no clue how they did that. I mean, Insomniac is amazing. I saw the Foundry.
They're Insomniacs, so they never sleep.
Yeah, they're
always up, just making the game.
That was such a great.
Just stay up all the time, make games.
And I saw the Digital Foundry technical review. Mm-hmm. And
what was it, like 9.9 out of 10?
Well,
13 out of 10.
Actually, it wasn't a review; it was an analysis. That's what they do. And they actually did it right after the whole controversy of the downgrading that blew up the internet.
Okay.
Because there was this conversation online about Insomniac downgrading the graphics of the game. So
Right. Because what people saw at E3
exactly
versus what people thought they were going to get in the box was different.
was different, and there's been a lot of talk about those things.
There's that
especially
infamous scene with Spider-Man hanging in the warehouse.
It
with the
was like
puddles
a
on the
building,
ground.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a building.
Mhm.
Yeah.
a construction site.
A construction site, that's what it was.
And
yeah.
the thing is, I get that conversation because of things like Ubisoft has done. They did with Watchdog. I don't know if you know about that. It was a huge controversy where they showed the game, they previewed the game, and the graphics were like amazing. And then when the game came out, everybody was like, "What the fuck happened here?"
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of the same conversation that we're trying to have with Spider-Man. Turns out, it's different. The end game is different from what they showed, but it's actually upgraded. It's actually better than what they showed at the convention.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, the thing is, it's different.
But it's the perfect example of underselling and over-delivering.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, think about it from a marketing perspective.
Well, underselling, I don't know, because it's the most, I think it broke records of
Well, yeah, it was
as
totally
an
not
exclusive.
undersold. But I mean, if their intention, and I don't know if they did this on purpose, but if their intention was to show something and then put something else in the market that was even better than what they promised,
Yeah,
that's just mind blowing to me.
it's
you know?
incredible.
But that's a testament
What
to
exactly
good
what they
strategy.
used to sell the actual game wasn't up to the level of the actual game that came out.
Yeah.
So if that's what you're saying, yeah, it's kind of incredible. I mean, you will think that they will show something that's even better in order to get people to buy it.
Right.
But that didn't happen. And there were
Well, what
several
they showed
things.
was good enough.
Huh?
What they showed was good enough to get people.
Well,
to buy.
yeah, it was good. It was really amazing what they showed, and but yeah, visually it's a masterpiece. The other thing is that New York is beautiful, and even though it's not real time weather system that the engine has, it changes. The weather changes depending on the part that you're doing in the story.
Okay.
So it's not real time change, but it actually changes, and every single time it looks beautiful. Like in the morning looks beautiful, at night when it's raining, everything. That game is beautiful. New York is amazing. It's alive. Nueva York.
Pasaste por Washington Heights.
Yeah, you can go to all the barrios.
Una bodeguita.
Yeah, hay bodegas, and you can go to all the different areas from New York. I mean, it's very accurate, and it's very good. The only thing that I didn't like, and it's not that I liked that was against, let's say, is that
You're gonna give a ding to Spider-Man, your favorite game right now, man.
well, yeah. And one thing that I have to mention, it has. I also finished it, but again, I haven't done all of the content that it
Okay.
has, and it has so much content.
I did hear that. I heard that.
A lot.
I heard that it's got a lot of replay value.
Yeah, it has, and more DLCs are coming out. If you're against DLCs, well,
Well, then
tough
just
luck.
be
Yeah.
against DLCs.
Yeah, but there's more DLCs with more bosses. I think the one that's coming out now is Dark Cat. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't really know all the characters of the comics, but yeah, there's a female character.
Oh, by the way, do you remember that we were looking for a Hispanic superhero and we couldn't find any?
Well, yeah. There's a Spider-Man that's...
There's a Spider-Man.
A Puerto
that's gonna
Rican
be-
Spider-Man.
No, he's Dominican. Or is he Puerto Rican?
He's Puerto Rican,
I thought he was Dominican.
Is the guy that's going to be in Spider-Verse?
Yeah.
He's Puerto Rican, I think.
Oh well.
I mean, I was told. I'm not sure.
I had a Puerto Rican tell me he was going to be Dominican.
Okay.
And then I had a Cuban tell me that they didn't know what was going on, but that he was
It's
Hispanic.
Caribbean.
Yeah, that he was just
That's why he's
Hispanic from the Caribbean. So I believe the Cuban is probably right. I mean, it might just be like maybe they don't say where he's from.
Yeah.
But that he's just
Yeah, I'm not sure.
His name is I don't know what his name. I'll look it up. But it's so funny we were talking about it, and that was actually happening at the same time. So we were just oblivious to it, or maybe we knew and we just forgot to mention it. So I wanted to mention it. Yeah, there is a Hispanic superhero out there, and it is Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
So that's really really
like,
good.
Like that superhero I've never heard of.
Yeah. Not a Mickey Mouse superhero.
Yeah, no Calimán.
No Calimán ni
Águila Solitaria. Spider-Man. I mean,
yeah. So that's awesome.
Well,
get some representation.
So more Dios is the thing is I've the only thing that I'm against in the game. And I don't even know if you can deactivate that or not. I think not. I think I actually tried to see if I could deactivate it. It is that it holds your hand too much, the game. It actually tells you how to do, where to do, what to press, when to jump, and it tells you how to do everything. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it becomes like it's just following instructions what you're doing.
Right.
So, not that I'm not saying it should be like, again, I hate comparing, and even more this comparison because it seems like the one that everybody makes nowadays. But not that I'm asking for Dark Souls.
Okay.
It doesn't tell you anything. But
yeah, unless you read all the items.
Exactly. But it was a little bit too much. I mean, some bosses even was like, I'm following instructions.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's a very good game. I recommend it to anybody.
Well, it says here that that Miles Morales
Mm-hmm.
is just an Afro-Latino teenager.
Oh, it says Afro-Latino?
It says Afro-Latino. So it doesn't say where he's from. Maybe if we read the comics, we'll figure it out. But I don't think it even really matters. I think the point is that they made a Hispanic Latino.
I have to check.
And now I read actually that the reception was kind of weird because people said that they did it just to be politically correct, like it's a publicity stunt. Which I don't know. I mean, whatever people feel that they need to say is fine, I guess. But
freedom of speech.
But it's just cool to have. I think it's really cool. I think it's really cool. And for all those reasons, like we said. I mean,
I get the whole politically correctness conversation.
Sure. Because it could be construed as that. And I'm not saying that that's not what it is.
But I don't know.
But it doesn't sound like that's what it is. And then Stan Lee kind of approved it. So that to me gives it like a lot of credibility. Yeah.
I got to check on something because there's a character. But I think it was a black guy and Spider-Man. Well, this is an Afro-Latino.
Yeah.
So it's a black guy too. Yeah. It's not a different,
Right.
But I gotta check because in the game, I don't remember the name of this black guy character. That spoiler alert. Spoilers. This character at the end. Spoiler to you. I mean, I don't know if you're gonna play
spoiler
it.
To you.
Sorry.
Spoiler to
I'm
me.
just gonna say it. This guy at the end becomes.
I put my fingers in my ear.
This guy at the end gets bitten by the same spider that bit Peter Parker.
Oh, okay.
I don't think gets the ability, so he kind of becomes a Spider-Man too. So I'm not sure if he's Miles.
There's a bunch of Spider-Man is the point, I think.
Oh yeah, there's a lot. That's why Spider-Verse is. There's even a woman Spider-Man.
And Thor too. There's a bunch of Thors.
Oh really?
The last Thor was female actually.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and she was really cool. And
how come isn't Thor the god of thunder?
Well, in this case, it's the goddess of thunder. Yes.
That never existed.
It does now.
It does now. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking about mythology.
Oh yeah, Well, yeah, from a mythological perspective, I guess
it's not accurate.
It's not accurate, but I mean, I think what everybody was thinking was. And the same thing with Miles Morales.
Yeah, everybody was like,
everybody was like, let's check it out. Let's see how it is, and I judge it on the quality of the story.
Yeah.
Is the quality of the story good? Is it fun? Mm-hmm. Does the character suck me in? Do I feel that character? Do I resonate with this character in any way? Mm-hmm. And with that character, I mean, she was really cool. So she was just as badass as Thor was. I mean, I think maybe in some cases they tried to make her even more over the top badass, which was really interesting. But
now, going back to Spider-Man, the game, there's something that I gotta mention about this game is that the level of detail that the game has is just mind-blowing.
Detail, you mean in like the graphics or the story? Okay,
everything in terms of development of the game. The graphics, they're very
What's
detailed.
the soundtrack like?
The soundtrack is very much like the Avengers music.
Yeah.
So it's very cool. Every time you're swinging, this like heroic music starts, so it feels like swinging this game feels good. Very
awesome.
Cool. Very cool.
Awesome.
Very cool. So it has details in the wind, especially when you use headsets. So in the wind, when you're going really fast, the momentum of the swing feels very good. The actual screen on the borders, they blur a little bit, so you kind of feel
like you're flying,
like you're really going very fast. They even add like a little effect of a comic effect there. So those little details that you really gotta observe, not only look at the game, but you really observe and you'll see them. But even if you're not observing, it's a kind of feeling that you get. And
imagine a virtual reality game where you can do that. That's gonna be so cool.
They actually did an original suit. Their original. I mean, you can choose a lot of suits, and all the suits have different abilities. It's very customizable. Your Spider-Man, your character, but they actually did one original suit that the sign of the spider on the chest is white.
Oh, cool.
So it's the only Spider-Man suit that has it white. Every other Spider-Man has it black. And that was cool. You can use the Iron Man suit too. The one
so is the suit black and the spider white?
No, the suit is red and blue.
It's still red and blue, but the
spider is huge on the chest.
And it's white.
So it looks very, very cool.
That's cool.
Talking about the little details, when you're swinging and you're talking, sometimes he gets calls
from Mary Jane. Yeah.
If you're standing, it's a track, and you hear him talking, "Hey MJ, how you doing?" Whatever. If he's swinging, you actually see him struggling. Not see him, hear him struggling. Like, I'm gonna call you back. Okay, like those little details to me are like, wow,
that's so much fun.
Yeah, it
even makes the swinging worthwhile. Because you're like, I'm gonna put him through a test here and see if he can talk.
Good. Those little things I love.
That's cool. So then you definitely enjoyed Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Sounds like you enjoyed it way more than Tomb Raider.
I gotta say yes. Yeah. Even though I'm a big fan of Tomb Raider and I'm loyal to that franchise.
Look at you, loyal to Laura. Yeah, even though you don't like her. I don't like Laura.
I like Alicia Vikander.
But she's a real person.
But I'm loyal to Tomb Raider. I feel loyalty to Tomb Raider. I like the franchise. But yeah, I gotta say that Spider-Man is a better game than Shadow.
Cool. So yeah, if anybody wants to, pick up one or the other, Efcos is going with Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
Cool. So yeah, I played Battle for Azeroth a little bit, but then I'm also a bit of a masochist. So I started playing Mega Man 11 after you gave it to me.
Oh yeah.
And Mega Man 11. I'll talk about my other masochistic game, but Mega Man 11 is kind of like Ghosts and Goblins, where there are certain parts where you want to just rip your eyelids off.
Yeah.
But it's so much fun.
It's dangerous that I play Mega Man 11 because I play on Switch. I mostly play mobile. I don't dock it. I don't use it on the TV.
Yeah. I've even been playing. I mean, since I have the Pro controller with me all the time.
Oh yeah.
I just set it up and I play it with it set up. But I don't ever use the Switch with the controls.
I mostly play it that way.
Okay. How did you do that?
And it's dangerous that I'm playing Mega Man like that.
Yeah.
Because it really gets.
And I'm playing on normal. Like I'm playing on normal.
Yeah.
And it is
me too.
rough. So
it is so hard. Well, my first playthrough was normal. Then I had to try a little bit in I think it has a novice.
Yeah, novice.
I had to play it a little bit that way to just like get the grasp of how to use
Mega Man, use everything.
and all that. because it's so hard.
It's hard.
It's really hard.
Like I'm mashing those suit powers. Like I'm slowing down time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm trying to decide whether I need to slow down time or I need to blow something up.
Yeah.
You know, so it's been fun though. It's been fun. I would say it's probably one of the most fun, and it's also really graphically cool. Like it's a really cool game. It looks really good. You know, if you like Spider-Man, if you like Mega Man, you'll be happy with this version of Mega Man. Because
you know what I liked?
It's a lot like the old Mega Man.
Exactly. I was gonna say that.
It's a lot like the old Mega Man.
It's the same Mega Man. I mean, it's even some level design is based on what we've seen in Mega Man 2 and all that.
Yeah. And well, what I'm doing now with what's his name? Not Boulder Man.
It's not Boulder Man. It's Block Man.
Block Man with Block Man. I don't know why I keep calling him Boulder Man. The Boulder Man level is unlike any other Mega Man, like early Mega Man game, because the level moves.
Oh yeah.
You know, the level's throwing walls at you. So that's where I'm at right now, and it's been rough because I'm almost right there to him, but I just got to pass this one part. We'll probably try to just finish up the game in the next couple of days.
It's really fun.
I know it's a lot of fun. The other game that I'm playing, which you know, is Hearthstone, and again, I started playing it again, and what I mean by that is I'm actually like trying to climb the ladder to get to Legend, because I feel like that's when you're really playing.
What is that?
So
it's a level?
Legend is the, and getting to Legend is not. I mean, getting to Legend is great, but then when you're in Legend, there's also levels within Legend. So you know, there's like, and it just depends on how many people are in the Legend rank at that time. There could be 1,000, there could be 2,000 people, there could be 5,000 people. But the point is, in North America, there are only this number of legendary ranked people at that time.
Oh, okay.
So I'm trying to make it into that pool, and then from there rank up to, you know, get into like a top 100 position, which I've never been able to do. So I've never been able to get into the top 100 because it takes an inordinate amount of time. You have to play a lot of games. It's a numbers game. The way I feel about Hearthstone is any deck that you have, you know 33% of the time you're gonna win. The other 33% of the time you're definitely gonna lose.
Oh yeah.
So it's the 33% in the middle where you have to kind of make all the right choices if you want to win those games.
Yeah.
Because that's just the way card battlers work. If you have a superior deck, to me, like my chances of winning are diminished, right? Because there's decks that counter other decks. So anyways, I've played every single deck at this point. I've played Taunt Druid. I've played Odd Rogue, Odd Paladin, Tempo Mage. I have a Resurrect Priest. I have, you name it, I have it. And I've played it. And I love all of them. And I think that that's the really cool part of trying to rank up in the ladder, is that you get to play every single class. If you want to be good and you want to understand how other classes work, you can bang your head against the wall just playing against them. Yeah. Or you can build a deck just like they have and try to figure out how to play. So I've learned a lot in doing this, and some of the tips that I could share with people, anybody that wants to play Hearthstone, is that I think one of the easiest things that you can try to figure out right away is that what kind of deck do you have versus your opponent.
Oh yeah, that's kind of the entire thing. You gotta build your decks.
Yeah.
Is there a way to build a deck?
Wait, but what I mean specifically is when the game starts and it's like me versus you, right?
Yeah.
You have to know already from how you're mulliganing your deck and how and the class that you're playing, which deck you are playing. Like I have to automatically try to guess which deck you're playing.
I was gonna that was my question.
So that's what I mean. So like,
because you never know what deck I'm gonna play with, right?
I don't, but I have ways to figure that out. So for example,
kind of card.
Well, the class that you're playing. So say you're playing a paladin.
Character.
Yeah. Okay, say you're playing a paladin and I'm playing a rogue. There's a really good chance right now that if you're playing a paladin, you're playing an odd paladin. There's like a really good chance. Yeah. There's other paladin types, but the chance of you being an aggressive paladin deck is really high. And I have those numbers in Hearthstone Replay, and these are live numbers that you can see at any time.
Yeah.
The decks that are being played in North America and in Europe and all that stuff. So I already know that about you if you're a paladin. And so what I need to do is then figure out what my cards need to be early on and what I need to hang on to.
Yeah.
If I'm not the beatdown deck. If you're the beatdown deck and you're going to come at me and you're going to try to destroy me right away, then I need to figure out how I'm going to handle all of that and then flip it around on you when the best time to do that is. And vice versa. If I'm the beatdown deck, then that means I'm going to go at you really hard because I know that I have an advantage because you need to get further and deeper into your deck before you can beat me. And so my deck is like the deck that kind of has to rush you in a way. That's really...
But you don't determine how the deck is going to actually come out, right?
I don't, but I do have a little bit of control about what I play and what my combos are. So I'm not just playing on what is called playing on the mana curve. I'm not just playing the next card that I get. I'm trying to put together, different combos of cards that I have in my deck as I get them, as I draw them, to be able to then counter what you're showing me. So that's where the strategy.
So you
comes
actually
in.
build let's say like what do you say, the combos?
Yeah.
Expecting that the other player is gonna do something,
exactly,
and then attack back.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head.
So you know so much about all of the different decks and all the different characters that you already know what to expect from other characters. So, he's playing a paladin.
Yeah.
He probably has this kind of deck.
Right.
Let me build this kind of combos here. So whenever he tries to hit me with this,
I'll be ready.
I'll be ready.
Yeah. And then a lot of it is just taking risks. So say you're playing a hunter.
You never know.
You're playing a death rattle hunter. And death rattle hunters have these little minions that they put them out on the board, and they die. When they die, they do something. Okay, so they have this little egg that they put on there, and once they kill their own little egg, it hatches a big dinosaur. Okay, I know that they're gonna do that. Okay, so I have to make a choice. I have to understand if the cards that I've been given allow me to ignore that egg, which is usually a bad idea, and just try to destroy him, or if I have a way of neutralizing that egg so that it doesn't become a big dinosaur, or deal with the dinosaur and remove the egg. So it's all these things you have to think about.
Yeah, all the possibilities.
Yeah. So that's what I'm playing right now. It's a quantum game.
It just made this conversation very smart by adding the quantum word.
It did. And anytime we can use the word quantum, it makes us look so much smarter.
Where did I see that they were making... Oh, Ant-Man?
Oh, you saw Ant-Man? You mean Ant-Man versus Wasp? Or Ant-Man and Wasp?
Yeah, they were talking about how
the word quantum...
Every time they want to sound smart or something like that, they add the quantum word.
Yeah, so these are quantum calculations that are happening in my head as I think about all these Hearthstone possibilities.
That's interesting.
But so the game is fun for me from that perspective because again, you're right, I am competitive. But I do love, I love chess. I'm a chess player also. Yeah. And this is like chess to me. It's you versus another opponent.
Well, it's strategic.
It's strategy and it's tactical. Anything can change. The game of chess is a very static game in terms of the rules.
It's very elegant too.
It's a very beautiful game. It's
simple,
very deep,
but very
simple and extra deep, super deep. The best chess players practice a lot, but have an incredible memory and can remember patterns and remember things. And that's another thing that you need to be really good at Hearthstone is to be able to remember patterns. And the fact that the game changes every time they add a new collection of cards and a new update and a new thing, and they do patches where they nerf cards and stuff like that, means the game's always changing. So I'm always entertained.
So if I want to get into Hearthstone or any of these card games, what would you recommend? Because here's my issue. I try to play this game that Elder Scrolls
Online?
Legends.
Oh, Legends, yes.
Or Legends, whatever. And what I felt was that I was taking such a long time because there were so many cards.
Yeah.
And they hit you with new cards and new cards and new decks and new kind of I don't know how you call it, but different kinds of decks you can build.
Right.
It's so much information at the same time, and for me, that's like too much. I have a big head, but not a lot of memory. So, so my thing was that I was playing, and I had to go card by card
to reading,
analyzing. So, what would you recommend if I want to really get into how what would you recommend me to get a little bit faster in learning all these cards and?
Yeah. Well, I think Hearthstone is actually really good right now if you're a beginner, and I'll tell you why. Most card games out there, for you to be good, and even Hearthstone, you know, a lot of people have criticized it for this. You have to buy packs. You know, you have to buy packs to get the cards to even figure out what they're doing. Exactly.
You said the word.
I said the M word.
In a gaming show.
Yeah. So what
you are going to receive death threats.
Death threats. Microtransactions. Hey, screw you, Mannifresh. But here's the beauty of it. Forget microtransactions.
Yeah.
You don't need them anymore because now.
You just said you need them.
No, I said that. Well, you didn't let me finish. So what I said was, in the old Hearthstone, you did eventually at some point, if you wanted to get there faster and you didn't want to spend a lot of time, you know, doing quests and things like that, you had to spend some of your money. Okay. Also, if you want to buy into the new expansion, it's like $50.
Oh,
you know, so just to buy an expansion, you get all the you know, you get 40 packs or something like that. You get some rewards, you get some new heroes, and you get some legendaries. And so that's really, if you have the money, that's obviously a great way to start, you know, to start your collection. But if you don't want to spend any money, now is the best time to do it, because back in the day, Hearthstone started you at level 25, and then you went from 25 all the way through the ladder to 1 and then into legendary, right?
Okay.
It doesn't work that way anymore. Now you start at level 50. So it sounds worse, right? On the outset, it sounds like, oh, they're starting me off at level 50. But now, from 50 to 25, you can get 22 card packs that you earn from 50 to 25. And that's a really good start. And then just doing quests while you're doing those things, you get more card packs. You can put a decent deck together with 22 card packs and the cards that the game gives you just for playing. So just for playing a class, just for leveling it up to like level 10, you get all the class cards for that hero.
Oh.
The game gives them to you.
Okay.
And the game gives you free stuff too, like watch me win a game, you get a free card pack. Or challenge your friend to a game, you get 60 gold. And once you have 100 gold, you can buy a card pack.
So you have your ways of
also, the adventures are completely free.
The what?
The adventures.
Oh, okay.
So it's not just
single player
It's
stuff?
a single player experience where you go through a dungeon and you get monsters thrown at you. And all the cards that are in there you get once you beat those bosses.
Oh, you beat the bosses and then you get all the cards.
And you get card packs for that. And you get special cards from those dungeons, which are used in the ladder. Like there are a lot of cards, like Play Dead, for example, I think is one of them that was from the one of the latest patches. I think it was Witchwood. You need Play Dead if you're a Death Rattle hunter, because you want to put that little egg out there, and then you play Dead on the egg, and it makes pretend it's dead, which means it summons that dinosaur, and you can have 2 Play Deads in your deck, so you can summon 2 dinosaurs like out of nowhere. You get that from the adventure, and you get it totally free. Nice. So you can actually play the game totally free. I think that's a great thing about Hearthstone, is that there's a game mode for everybody.
Yeah.
But to see if you would like it, I would play one of those free adventures.
Exactly.
And see if you like that. This is also the same advice that Kriparian gave recently when he did his little video that's on the Battle.net app. He said, you know what, play one of these adventures, see if you like it. I agree with that. Play one of those things, see if you like it. If you like it, then the game is good for you. And if you don't, then, you know, there's lots of other cool games.
I've seen it. I've seen people playing it. And one thing that I really enjoy is that it has a lot of sound effects and sounds, like dialogues and that from Warcraft.
Yeah, it's so much fun because they add all that stuff.
I remember the ogres saying, I don't remember what the response is when you select them.
Yeah.
Yeah, like those I remember when you choose one of the characters.
More work.
Yeah, exactly. Some stuff like
the
that.
Humans.
Yeah, it's really cool. And Hearthstone is just the Warcraft universe.
It's just the Warcraft heroes. So yeah.
Yeah. It's not like the Storm.
Not like Heroes of the Storm. Heroes of the Storm brings everybody in there. Yeah. But imagine a card game that brought all the heroes together, all the games together. That's gonna happen eventually. It has to happen.
You think?
I think that, I mean, at some point they're gonna run out of they're gonna run. I mean, maybe they'll never run out of ideas. I guess you can never run out of ideas for Warcraft. The Warcraft universe is so big.
Warcraft has been how many years?
God,
like 15 years already.
15 years, I think we're coming up on. Was it 2004?
Still coming up with ideas, those guys.
So incredible. Yeah. So those are some of the games that I'm playing. Some of the games that Efcos is playing.
Do you think that Hearthstone is gonna come out for Switch anytime?
I don't know. I thought about that, but then I thought, just playing it on my phone is just as fun.
Okay.
Playing it on my iPad is just as fun. I am looking to Diablo 3. I'm looking forward to Diablo 3 on the Switch. I got into the GeForce Now beta, which I told you, which I shared that with you,
cool.
which has been so much fun. I can just play Diablo anywhere that I have an internet connection on my Surface, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And I played a little bit of Elder Scrolls and some Dark Souls 3, and that was fun. But I'm really looking forward to the Switch.
I'm looking forward to Diablo 3 on Switch. I wouldn't be surprised if they do Hearthstone on Switch.
But guess what I'm going to be doing November 2nd?
Going to BlizzCon?
No, I wish I was going to BlizzCon. No, I'm going to be playing Classic WoW. There's going to be a demo, and it's going to be playable on the first night of BlizzCon.
When is BlizzCon?
So if you have a virtual ticket, you can play the demo.
When is BlizzCon?
November 2nd.
November 2nd.
Yeah.
That means that for next week...
That's also the day that Diablo 3 launches on the Switch.
Next week we're going to be talking then about BlizzCon, no?
That's right. Next week will be the BlizzCon show.
It's going to be your show. You can do it solo.
No, I'm actually just not going to say anything. I'm just going to let you talk about Blizzard.
No clue.
It's going to be so fun. I think it would be funny if I share the letter that I wrote to Blizzard like 10 years ago about please hire me. You will love that. I'm gonna read that letter to you so you can see why they didn't hire me.
Oh, that's
they were probably like, this guy just loves us way too much.
Next week is gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
I want before we finish,
wrap it up.
I want to mention other games that I'm playing.
Yeah.
But very quickly, I'm playing on Switch also Hollow Knight.
Oh right, I have Hollow Knight and I started playing it, but I haven't gotten into it as much.
I just want to mention that how great of a game is if you like Metroidvania games, and you guys already know that I'm a Metroid fan.
Yeah.
This is a Metroidvania game that's impressive. It's huge. The art of the game is beautiful. The music of the game is beautiful. The ambience of the game it's amazing, and the mechanics. People compare it to Dark Souls again. Yeah. I hate doing that. It seems like in every show we talk about Dark Souls. But
our souls are so dark. We're ashen.
So talking about going hollow.
Yeah, we're Hollow
Knight. So it has this mechanic in which when you die, you gotta go back to get your soul, if you will, with your money,
right?
With your currency. And again, the same thing. If you die before getting it, then you lost it.
Then you lose it all.
And not only that, people are comparing. I mean, that's basically a Dark Souls mechanic there, designed, but it's also really challenging.
Yeah.
It's really freaking challenging. I mean, if you just started it.
But now I'm stuck playing Mega Man.
Oh, well, yeah.
Because it's the nostalgia factor has taken over.
Yeah.
And I also bought Dark Souls for Switch.
I had to leave Hollow Knight for a while, and I just got it back because last time I was playing it, I was playing a boss, and it took me like 2 weeks to beat it.
Okay.
Not playing every day, but it was like 2 weeks of trying and beat him, and I found it a bit. And I saw online that was the very first hard boss in the game, and that was me after hours and hours into the game. So just wanted to mention that game. It's really cool, and I'm enjoying it a lot. And the other game that I want to talk about was Destiny 2.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. You're still playing Destiny.
So yeah, it's the only kind of game. It's the only game that I always go back to play. It's my gaming as a service game that I play. And of course, it's been out for a while, and now what came out recently is the DLC, the latest expansion, which is Forsaken, and is the shit. It's amazing. Yeah. It's really good. If you play Destiny 2, I know there's a lot of guys, a lot of people, not guys only, but only, guys and girls, I don't want to be sexist here.
You're so sexy. Girls play Destiny. No, girls don't play video games.
Don't say that. We're gonna get banned. Anyhow, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that
I know girls that play video games way better than we do.
Oh yeah, I follow a girl who plays mostly Destiny 2 on Twitch, and she's really good.
You like her better than Lara Croft?
Her? Yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay.
She's real. She's a human being.
She's real. What's not real about Lara Croft? She has emotions. Lara Croft has emotions.
No, she doesn't.
Yes, she does.
No, she's
when you said that she was saying "daddy, daddy, daddy," she's obviously hurting.
She was crying, "Oh, daddy!"
She was in pain.
My daddy's work.
I don't think you're giving her enough credit.
So yeah, Destiny Forsaken is really good. The story in Forsaken is. I mean, we already know what happens. It's in the trailers. It's about vengeance. It's about the assassination, the murder of Kate 6, and you basically go and kill the people who killed Kate 6.
Wow, revenge. That's revenge.
So yeah, but the new sector in the map is so beautifully designed. It's so amazing. And then you have a lot of new weapons. You have Gambit, which is the new multiplayer game mode that is incredibly fun. So I don't know if you know about it, but it's PvP and PvE at the same time.
Yeah,
so
I heard about it.
It's so good. Yeah. So basically you start as PvE with your team in like a zone, right? And in this zone you gotta kill, NPCs, like enemies. Yeah. You kill them and you collect this little diagonal little things. Those things you then put into a machine that opens a portal, and you, through that portal, one of your players go to the opposite team realm, if you will, and attack them to make it more difficult. And the whole goal is to summon this huge boss that your team has to beat first.
Okay, so it's a cool competition.
It's really cool.
Sounds
really
like Alterock Valley.
I love it. I played it at E3 and I was like, I'm getting Forsaken for sure. And I know there's a lot of people that has issues with Destiny 2. That's what I was gonna say, and I get it. But this, I mean, since the beginning, Destiny 2 was made for Destiny lovers. I mean, if you didn't like Destiny 1, you're not. Probably you weren't gonna like Destiny 2. I really do like it. I think that the game design is very particular, but it accomplishes what I interpret as what they wanted to accomplish with the game.
Cool. Hey, as long as you're having fun and...
It's a dungeon crawler.
Yeah.
It's Diablo in third person.
My brother loves Destiny 2. He plays a lot of it too.
Yeah, it's really good.
So he's told me about... he's actually shown me also some really cool scenes while he's playing. He literally calls me when I go to my parents' house. He's like, come check this out. Yeah. And I go and I'm like blown away by the visuals, by the gameplay. Mm-hmm. It just seems like a lot of fun. Yeah. Like if I had more time, I would try to get into it.
It's actually the shooter. I'm big into shooters because of Doom. So, but the handling of the guns, how you feel the guns and shoot, to me, it's the best one. And just to wrap it up, I do want to mention that I recently got, and you have it behind you, I recently got the latest Call of Duty Black Ops.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Black Ops 4.
Very cool.
And, I mean...
Hey, this guy left his girlfriend for it, so...
Janet Garcia.
Yeah, what's his name?
I don't know his name, but Janet Garcia, I know him, I'm not gonna comment on that right now. This is a PG-13 show.
Is it really?
I don't know.
They gave us an explicit on the podcast. We have an E next to our episode.
Well, that was me actually, because we say fuck and shit.
We say fuck? Get the fuck out of here.
Anyhow, I'm not a big fan of Call of Duty. I think that there shouldn't be parts of game. It should be a game as a service platform where that you just have a Call of Duty Black Ops and then release new maps, because that's basically what they do.
Anyway, that's what they do anyway.
Every game is the same games, but it's fun if you like Call of Duty. It's a good Call of Duty game. It doesn't have a single player campaign, which is also fine. I don't know anybody who played the campaigns with online. Yes, I'm talking
sure
about the people that I know. I'm pretty sure that out there,
there's people out there that
this
play
to our audience.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure some of you guys play the campaigns and you're disappointed in that.
And disappointed in Efcos.
But
for not
data shows that most of the people don't play the campaign. So
I'm a data guy.
Yeah, you're a data guy. So I mean, it's a fun game. It's a little bit disappointing to see same maps that other games already. I mean, that comes from past versions. So it's like they just didn't work for it.
What do you think if we get a jingle going?
A jingle?
Yeah, like a jingle. Like a jingle with the guitar.
That's out of tune.
I heard it. Yeah, I tried already strumming it a few times, and I realized that most of the keys.
Yeah, it's completely out of tune. Anyhow, if you like Call of Duty Black Ops 4, it's fun. I just play it to keep to stay in touch with my friends. We could call it the Call of Duty
jingle. Huh? We could call it the Call of Duty jingle.
Go ahead.
No, I don't think.
Let's finish with the Call of Duty jingle.
You're dead.
That was so stupid. Okay, let's wrap this up. Go Mannifresh.
Yeah, so that'll be the episode. I think one of the things we want to do next episode, we were trying to do a VR episode. So
we're waiting for JM.
So we're gonna wait for JM, but we're also gonna wait for Black Friday.
Oh,
to get all our stuff.
Yeah.
So
should I get an Oculus Rift?
You should get an Oculus because I'm gonna get one.
What about the PS? No, I should get
the PS4 one's really cool. My friend Jerry is playing a game that he says is like Call of Duty but virtual reality. That is out of control good.
Oh really?
Yeah. Something zero Dawn or zero.
No, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Not Zero Dawn. 0 Hour. Sorry. Something
Hours.
0 Hour.
Mm-hmm.
So Fire Code, Fire Squad, 0 Hour. Don't quote me on that. But he says it's like Call of Duty but VR.
Oh,
so you're in there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he says he's spending an inordinate amount of time playing, and that his wife is about to divorce him.
Don't never do that.
Yeah, don't ever do that. But yeah, so hopefully we can talk a little bit more about that next week. We're gonna talk more about BlizzCon. I'll share you guys my experience going to BlizzCon and doing some of that stuff. It's been a wild ride with Blizzard so far. So we'll see. We'll do a little preview BlizzCon episode. And this is Mannifresh and Efcos. Peace.